John Ramirez is a former CIA operative analyst, and he worked for over 20 years in the CIA. And when he came out, when he retired, he began talking about some of the information he learned about while he was in the CIA concerning extraterrestrial life. He says that one of the things that kept on coming up was this date, 2027. He was told in 22 that disclosure would happen in 2027. Decisions were made in 2017, and he kind of alludes to this, that they would slowly roll out disclosure. And so if we look at what's been happening, I mean, it's 2025 now, so over the last 8 years, we can see how there's been a kind of steady rise in information concerning UFOs, non-human intelligence, congressional hearings, the Pentagon setting up study groups. We're definitely building up to something. Now, exactly what are we building up to? So this is where we get to 3I Atlas, because 3I Atlas, in a way, is a precursor to this 2027 phenomenon, because 3I Atlas is passing through our solar system. And in November and December, 3I Atlas will be moving away from the Earth. And then by January and February, it's going to be out there passing by Jupiter. And then as the rest of 2026 progresses, it's going to go out further and further past. Predictions that 2027 is going to be a year of disclosure concerning UFOs and extraterrestrial life. Now, interestingly, when 3I Atlas passed by Mars, it was photographed, but those photographs haven't been released from any of the NASA Mars orbiters. So there's 6 orbiters around Mars at the moment. 2 belong to NASA, 2 belong to the European Space Agency, and 1 belongs to China and 1 to the United Arab Emirates. Now, of those 6 orbiters, only 1, and that is the ExoMars orbiter from the European Space Agency, has released any images of 3I Atlas, and the image they released was really just a dot. That's all you could see, just a dot. So you got higher resolution images of 3I Atlas taken by NASA's Mars orbiter, and that has still not been released. So these were taken on October 3rd, and it is now October 25. So we're talking over 3 weeks. The images are still not released. So many people are asking, why is this? And they are speculating that NASA is covering something up. And I think that is absolutely the case. That is part of a long observed pattern of NASA. When any of NASA's scientific instruments aboard its spacecraft, whether it's orbiters around Mars, whether it's rovers on Mars' surface, whether it is the International Space Station, and before that, the Space Shuttle. A lot of these images often are not released if they show evidence of extraterrestrial life. And what happens is that the images are scrubbed. And we know that as a fact because in 2001, there were 2 whistleblowers that came forward, Carl Wolf and Donna Hare, who both were physically present when they saw images, NASA images, being scrubbed under orders, and they were scrubbed of any evidence of extraterrestrial life or extraterrestrial artifacts. And so this is part of a pattern, and I don't think it's a big surprise that they are trying to cover up some of the data concerning 3I Atlas. What I'm going to do first is introduce our panelists. So let me bring George Kavassilas to the stage first. Hey, George, how you doing? Great to see you.
Michael, thank you so much. It's wonderful to be back with you, and such a great honour to be here with you and JP.
JP, it's great to see you without the mask, and I'm sure the audience love that. So when the Nordic told you about non-human intelligence on 3i Atlas, do you think they were talking about the Martians, or could it have been reptilians or some other non-human intelligence?
Throughout the thousands of years, by them interacting to different star systems and integrating their DNA with other planets from other star systems, they're still considered Martians, but they're coming in as different beings. So the same way here on Earth, we got people that look black, we got people that look Asian, we got people that look South American, Mexican. Well, these people, I still call them people, but they're going to come in as different beings, okay? And it's not just 3i Atlas. You know, we got other things that NASA's worried about. It's not just 3i Atlas. We got 740 now objects coming in our solar system from different locations, smaller, and we got even bigger objects than 3i Atlas, like, for example, Swan. But something interesting happened yesterday when we were doing the sound check. I was using an office, and I'm going to share this for the first time for everybody, just in case something goes down. I just want to have this recorded for the first time. And I think a couple years, I got approached by a person telling me to stop talking. Okay. He was dressed in black. He was driving a Cadillac, and he pulled behind me. He knocked on the window when I was hanging out after we did the sound check, and he said, "You need to go dark. And we know where everybody is from your family, and we know what's happening with you." So I think, Doc, I feel after this interview that we do today, I'm going to talk as much as I can today. If they hear this, I'm sorry, but this is probably, I think something is about to go down. Okay. I'm not trying to bring fear porn or fear or something. Some door is going to open, and I can't talk as much more about it. But yes, we're going to do this webinar with the love and passion that we have to bring disclosure. But I think it's time for me. I feel the way the person approached me, and the way the person, he even gave me a hug and said, "Take care." So I know he's probably a white hat telling me this. They want me. I got the red light for one of the first times to stop talking about what's happening. So I don't know how this is going to affect me also as well on different places where I go, but I felt kind of fear by other things that he told me. You know, I can't get much into the detail, but there's going to be happening a lot of things that I think it's not to bring fear. It's going to bring change to the world. Okay. It's going to bring positive change. And I know your people in this webinar are hearing this for the first time. And I'm sorry, I'm bringing this up, Doc, here right now, but I think there's going to be a big change. And as long as we work together as one consciousness and bring the love, and there's nothing we can really do. Basically now, it's going to happen. I can't go into detail, but yeah, I can talk about this webinar because I asked him, "Hey, I got a webinar tomorrow. So what am I going to do? You know, there's going to be a lot of people there." He says, "Hey, you talk what you need to talk, but after that, you got to stop." So I'm here now, you know, nothing has happened.
Yeah.
But by the way he was talking to me, I'm really not scared, but I'm really worried about my family and about me. So, I don't know how to put that in perspectives. But I got the red light for the first time in a couple of years.
Yeah, that's very significant. I know you've been warned in the past, but you also had white hats telling you to go on. But this is, as you said, like more likely a white hat that was telling you stuff's about to go down and you need to go dark, and this is coming from the white hat side. So, and that I think that's more than coincidental that you've been asked to go dark by the white hats at precisely the same time as our brother here, George, has felt the need to go dark himself. So, George, tell us about your decision to go dark.
I won't say completely dark, but JP, I just want to back you up on that. I actually got a stand down order from the admirals, and this is to be my last public appearance, and I'm to step back from public life and then redirect my focus in the background, because we've got work to do in the background. We're going to be called upon in that space, but they need our persona out of the public because they're about to launch an operation that we are not to get involved in. The work that you and I, JP, have done from two different areas of the SSP, we've come out. We've courageously come out, we've put our lives on the line, and we've done the work that we needed to do. And the way it was explained to me is, George, when you are playing in a symphony, you can't just continue to beat your drum. You know what I mean? You're going to disrupt the symphony. So the work that JP and I've been doing is so potent, the potency of our work and the message that we bring, that what energy we've injected into the exopolitical space, our work is done for now. That's enough. And we just need to go into trust that the energy we've put into that space is now rippling through the entire exopolitical space. Because when JP and myself talk and others like us are sharing this degree of knowledge and wisdom, then the potency and the observation, the surveillance on us. So we have also been teaching many others because of the degree of surveillance. You'll be surprised who's listening, and they respect us as people that are sharing at the forefront of knowledge, we're riding the crest of the wave. And I really truly feel that the time has come to step back, restructure ourselves, redirect the focus on us as well, our own personal development, our health and well-being. And we are going to go through a restructuring process, because when we do come back out down the track, we're going to, what the work that JP is required to do in the future and the work that I'm required to do in the future, and this goes for many other folks as well, is asking of a different version of us, not this current version. I know I'm personally not ready to do that kind of work yet in my own personal growth. So I know we need to go into the background, do some more of that personal development, go through the changes and the metamorphosis that we need to go through. And then that new version, that future version of us is going to step back out and do great works when the time comes. So that's been my and I've been getting the message from my body. I've been getting the message to step back from easily a dozen different solid sources within my life, and as well as the admirals. That stand down order that I got was, they, when they lean into you and they express themselves in a way, JP, that is, they really mean it, even though they're still being respectful and polite. It was that kind of energy.
There's going to be a lot of good things coming out. I think Trump is doing a heck of a job, my commander-in-chief, little by little, as he did like a month ago. He put in the med beds and then he put it out to give it more attention. And moving Space Command to Alabama was another big move he did in the United States. As George was talking, he's doing a lot more things around the world, moving the chessboard, the chess pieces around to make sure there's a checkmate, to make sure the wrong people will pay of their wrongdoings. The solar system, also the chessboards are moving around with all these ships coming in, our solar systems, and other people involved, other ETs involved. But I think it's not that they want me to go dark. They want me to stop talking about certain things. That's the thing. So the guy told me the things for me to stop talking about. So one of the things I'm going to say here, I don't care if I get in trouble, is 3i Atlas. I got to stop talking about 3i Atlas. I got to stop talking about the metabeds, okay? And I got to stop talking about something about to do with the oceans and atmosphere. I told the guy I never talked about the oceans and atmospheres. So those are the main three, but in those three things, there's major things that are going to happen. So,
all right. Well, I was going to ask you about all those three things. So, all right, but I can respect that. Those are topics that are no go, and I can just offer my speculations because I'm not bound by anything that you've been told to be silent about. But I can see that with 3i Atlas that it is a transition point, and I'm sure the White Hats have something in mind that's very highly coordinated to kind of like steer humanity in a certain direction, and they don't want that to be sidetracked or somehow undermined by us getting ahead of ourselves. So,
well, here we're going to talk about all those things. I don't care if I get in trouble, but humanity needs to know what's going to be going down. So I'm happy for everybody being here in the webinar.
All right. So this webinar is an opportunity for you to talk about these things, but after that, you might have to pull back, understand.
Certain things, for the protection and the security of this nation and other nations around.
Right. George, did you want to respond in any way to what JP just shared?
I just want to say I can totally relate to his situation and circumstances. And it's like, it's not like we're going away forever. I'm still going to be putting newsletters out. I'm still going to be putting the odd video blog out if I need to. And I'm looking to do an end of year wrap up in December, towards the end of December around the solstice. So I feel this is a good thing because it's in preparation, because like JP says, a major event is about to occur and we're still waiting for that really first big domino to fall, because once this first big domino falls, then that's it. The dominoes will keep going. There'll be no turning back. And that's why there's been kicking the can down the road and the brakes being put on everything. And you can see they've brought the financial system to the precipice of collapse. And it's a house of cards ready to go. Agricultural system, medical systems. Like you look at all the major societal infrastructure systems, every single one of them has been brought to the brink of collapse and exposure. Because the event that I'm being told that's coming, the label they've given it is the Great Reveal.
In this 4.5-hour exopolitical big picture webinar, knowledge of what is coming and of what is being kept out of the mainstream narrative empowers you and your loved ones to make informed decisions during this historic time of global ascension. Now available on Vimeo.